November 9th, 2023, public hearing for the Southampton Town Planning Board. We will have, we'll just have a roll call. We'll go right to that.
Chair LaFaro.
Present.
Vice Chair Finnerty.
Present.
The Secretary is here. Board Member Catalinato.
Present.
Board Member Mutu.
Present.
Board Member Neely.
Present.
Board Member Fulham.
Present.
We have a full boat quorum.
Please join in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll start with the Southampton dogs, and we have sufficient notice, council? Good. We'll read it into the record.
Please take notice that in accordance with local law number 14 of 2022, a public hearing will be held by the Southampton Town Planning Board on Thursday, November 9th, 2023, at 6 p.m. at Town Hall, 116 Hampton Road, Southampton, and via video conferencing to consider the pre-submission application entitled Southampton Dog. The site plan special exception application is for the establishment of a dog daycare use, veterinarian, in an existing 8,850 square foot building located on a 40,347 square foot parcel located in the LI 40 zoning district, situated at 476 County Road 39A, Hamlet of North Sea, Suffolk County, tax map number 900-132-3-17.2.
Thank you. And are you representing the
Yes.
application? Please come up.
Hi, everybody.
And introduce yourselves for the record.
I am Matthew Grabowski, and this is Veronika Grabowska.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. First of all, we are super stressed because we've never done this in our life
Don't
before.
worry about it.
We don't mind.
Just tell us something about your application, what you plan to do.
Okay, so we are creating a training and education center for dogs, but also, as we know, for people, really, in the building that is displayed over there. And the place is going to be state-of-the-art facility, which will be focusing on education for the community. We will have lots of programs that we would like to provide to the community free of charge, including a series. We were even thinking of creating something similar to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, where people can come in and Veronika, as the head trainer, would ask certain questions, people could interact, and we could really teach about dogs. Of course, we will be doing dog trainings and the doggy daycare as well. So that's our goal. And inside and outside, we would love to, especially inside, we would love to mimic the local style of the Hamptons. So in our application, there is this page, on page 11, is what we are trying to achieve, but in the style of the Hamptons. So when you walk inside, you would see these facades of buildings, and through some of these facades, you would see dogs actually looking out and overlooking the interior running area.
I would like to add just that even though we would like to take credit for that idea, I think it's really people and dog owners and dog parents who, you know, through talking and like all our clients for the last couple of years, they've been just saying that they need that kind of place. So it's not our idea entirely.
No, so, but that's the whole idea, and it's a huge project for us. We have to equip this place with literally everything, from kennels to staff areas to running areas, flooring, and so there's a lot to be done.
Will there be any overnight boarding of dogs?
Yes, there will be.
Do you know approximately how many?
Overnight,
Yes,
we would not expect more than 20 dogs overnight.
so 20 dogs.
Yes.
There'd be outside kennels inside, or,
No outside kennels whatsoever.
so the boarding would all be within the building?
Within the building, correct.
Okay.
When I read the legal notice, it said veterinarian. Will there be so it's just,
No, it's just
Do-
doggy daycare.
Okay.
That's it. There's no
Doggy
vet there.
daycare, training, education,
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
and overnight boarding.
Correct.
Boarding and board and train.
Right. Board and train. So what we would like to do, especially off season, so from the months of October to May or April, we would love to have people to send their dogs for training here. But there's also another thing. We would love to attract people to come here also off season. We've noticed and we've been told, and many of our clients are people who cannot leave their dogs anywhere here, or they don't want to leave them because whatever is available, they don't. It's not up to their standards. So we would also like to do that as well off season. And create some cool programs for off-season as well. I mean, we know we will be very busy during the summer, but our goal is to really make this an off-season and year-round kind of thing.
One suggestion, I have a child with special needs, and when he was younger, was so afraid of dogs. Like if he saw a dog across the street, he would run the other way. So maybe want to think about having some programs that have, exposure therapy, where you have some of your calmer dogs that, people come in, get exposed to dogs, feel comfortable around dogs and that kind of thing.
That would be one of my.
I actually, we're talking about education. It's mostly education for humans and for kids also. We have a special needs dog.
Yeah.
She's completely deaf, and back in Europe, I would take her to kindergartens and to places. So this part is very close to me.
Mhm.
So definitely, this is one of the things that it's
You'd
in
like
our
to do.
vision. Yes.
Nice.
And Veronica, could you talk about your background and both of your experience?
Yes, so I'm a dog trainer. I would say almost behaviorist. I have one more test to take to become a behaviorist. I've been doing this for over 10 years. Before that, I was in education. I was teaching kids, teenagers, and adults. So this is a time when I can actually combine all those two things and really talk to people. What I've noticed, I've been working at, I've been a director of training at Southampton Animal Shelter. Right now I'm consulting for Hampstead Animal Shelter, and I've been also starting to help ARF. So what I've noticed is that, it's all about dogs, and people who work in those places are mostly, they're concentrated on dogs. But if we want to make it better for animals, we have to focus on people. So, yeah.
And I've been working for many years in consulting and in family office environment, and Veronica noticed at some point that I probably should stop that if I want to remain healthy, and I did, and we are now doing this, and I haven't been healthier ever since.
So that building's been vacant for a number of years, and I'm happy that something's going to become of it. It's going to get spot. One question, what do we do with the waste?
Right.
A lot of dogs.
So the waste is divided into, of course, liquid and solids, right?
Mhm.
So solids are picked up through, there's the special scoop that is picked up, and solids go into garbage, and we spoke already to companies that are bringing this, just so it will work exactly the same as in the local shelters. So the solids go to very thick bags, and they go to the garbage can, which is going to be removed every 1 to 2 days. And the liquids are going to be water and a little bit of residue from the organic spray that sanitizes the place, and that goes, that's it. But there is, so we divide these two things into two separate things. This is not ever flushed
Right.
down, because that would be a disaster.
So the solids, though, there's a service that would come pick it
Yes,
up?
yes, yeah.
the idea is also that dogs will have so many activities, and they will be, you know, playing and walking, and they will not spend a huge amount of time in kennels. So I'm not anticipating a lot of
Like indoor
waste.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you guys currently have a practice and clients locally, or?
Yes,
And so tell
yes.
us a little bit about that.
Veronica?
Okay, so I don't know if you've noticed the last page. This is just some of my clients. If you want to test me and point out, I can tell you the name. Yeah, so as I said, I've been the head of the training department at Southampton, but on the side I was also doing that. So you know, from puppy training to behavioral cases to socialization. You know, we have a couple of people who would leave their one dog with us when they go away.
And we have a series of unusual requests, especially in this area. And we had requests to have the dog trained to be able to walk inside the store and behave. We had a case where people wanted to fly with the dog as well.
Lots of cases.
So there is a core. There are core activities, but there are also very unusual cases. And every time that we think we already heard every case, there's something new coming. So we would like to also address these needs as well during that process.
And I would like, in full disclosure, Veronica helped myself and my wife with placement of a couple of dogs that we'll talk about
Oh, nice.
later. But I think she demonstrated her care in taking care of both animals and taking care of the owners. I would like to ask, you know, medical needs may arise, veterinary needs. Would you work out a relationship with a local vet on an emergency basis or
So
something?
we want to reach to our immediate neighbors, which is Old Town Hospital. That would be the most sound and closest place to go to for that. We were also talking that it would be great to have a good relationship where maybe they could come once in a while and do some shots if necessary, or just look at the dogs, or we send them over there. But we are very lucky that they are literally next to us.
Right,
So-
they're 100 yards down the road.
Right, right. So that's perfect. So I think it will be a little animal hamlet in that neighborhood over there, with veterinarian and us.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, this building was a tile store.
Correct.
What does the bathroom situation look like, in the water situation?
So there are working bathrooms there right now, and all the utilities are working. I think water needs to be turned on. I think it's currently not. It's just shut off because it's not being used.
Anthony, do we have any Suffolk County water issues that they should be aware of?
No, I mean, what'll happen is the health department will review this, and there's no doubt that there's water supplies to the property, and then they'll impose whatever they believe is necessary for upgrades to the sanitary system. So yeah, it'll go through the normal course of the health department.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll make
it's
sure
almost-
that everything's in order. I'm guessing they have their own table of uses with flow requirements, and I'm sure this, falls under,
Yeah,
animal
I just,
boarding and veterinary.
I thought that was something that you should be aware of.
Yeah,
Thank you.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, I operate a commercial kitchen, and it's sort of a similar situation where it could be useful to have trough drains and things like that, and I'm pretty sure that the building doesn't have that, so how do you
No,
manage that?
exactly. So there is a huge discussion right now in terms of these kind of facilities, which is the system that is most efficient. For us, what's very important is we want there's two things that are top, of course. On top is the care of animals, but second is we don't want to have any smell and noise. So we talked to consultants, and they said that in some cases the troughs can produce, depending on how they are constructed, they can produce the residue that will start smelling. So one way that many facilities like that are operating is you create, there is a special, it's very similar to a shop vac. It's a device that with which you scoop the little bit of water residue mixed with a little bit of waste. So there is the waste is never inside pipes, so it cannot develop bacteria and smell and stuff like that. So we are investigating. Originally, we wanted to build these troughs, but also Veronica had experience with them in many shelters, and one of the issues is that they get clogged constantly because of the hair, and it mixes
toys and
right, remaining of the toys that were torn apart. So it seems that we are now pointed towards using that thing, and then rather than these troughs. For kennels, like for stackable kennels, you can have option where there are pipes going in the back. They are sort of built into the kennels, and then you connect this kind of special shop vac to it, and you can remove the waste. But again, there are pipes then. So we would love to eliminate pipes if necessary, just to keep. We want it to be like when you enter there, it must smell great. And if you actually go to page number 4. There is a plan. On the very left bottom side, there is like a little guest waiting area, which doubles also like a viewing area for public classes and trainings, and maybe this Who Wants to Be a Millionaire thing. And so whenever people will be in that area, it's very important for us to have it without smell and without noise. And Veronica is expert also on noise. There is a reason why some shelters or facilities have that noise, and maybe you want to elaborate about that.
It's just a couple of different things, like even how to position the kennels. If the dogs see each other, they will bark. If they don't face each other, if there's barriers on the door or windows and they don't see each other, they're more prone to just relax. That's one thing. Second thing, what I told about already is with amount of exercise and play and training and all of that, they really will be in kennels sleeping. So there are a couple of things that I have in mind to reduce the noise. And then there are those things that you...
Right. So we are talking now also to a company that makes acoustic noise absorbers, and they are really impressive. That's I was yesterday in Pennsylvania on a boarding expo, and they showed me how it works. They measured the decibels. But possibly, I don't know if we will even need it if Veronica is going to do her magic as she always does, so maybe we'll not need them. They're very expensive.
And I think the location is a fair distance from any residence.
That's correct, right.
Yeah.
And our next door neighbor is also our own dentist, Dr. Caruso, and he's the closest neighbor to us.
And that's during the day, nobody's living there.
No.
Can I ask you a little bit about the elevations of the property? You're not changing it structurally in the
No.
front, are you?
No.
Because this is flipped then from the smaller entrance is to the south?
It's the same.
No, actually, if you go, this is from the other lane. We are on page 7?
No. Page 9, it was on page 9.
Page 9, okay.
Right.
So, page 9.
Well, there you have something green, you have something red.
So on page 9, that's the elevation
Oh,
from
here it is.
from the, what's the other street name?
David White's line.
David
David
White's
White's
Lane.
Lane. And I think it's there is an entrance there. So maybe if we go there, oh yeah,
Yeah, there's a
exactly.
driveway.
Boom,
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
So I think that's.
Oh, yeah, that's
yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this entrance will not be utilized. We want to. This will be only for
Staff.
the staff. We want to utilize the one from the side of the
On-
highway.
On County Road 39.
Yeah.
Yes, that will be the official entrance. And then in the back, if you can see, this maybe is also a great example. If you turn to page, just to show you what we would also like to do outside, if you turn to page 5, it's the view from top, and there's 2 outside running areas, and one is in front of that, like in the back, right, over there. We would just fence a little bit of that. We would steal a little bit from that parking, so the dogs could run in the back. And then there's also another running area exactly in the very front of the building, in front of that diagonal wall, and that would be another running area.
And then one inside.
And one inside, and maybe two inside. There is actually, we have space for 2. There is what's on the plan on page 4, what's called storage room. We would like to make it, there's a huge garage door inside, giant industrial, and we thought it would be a great place for dogs to play during winter, or so it's like outside inside area, so they could go outside and inside. So that's it.
And are you subject to health department inspections or any agency inspections, you know? on
There
any
is
kind of
only
basis?
if we will decide to transport dogs. We have to have license, which we already have, but that's it.
And any grooming or anything?
And not at this moment. It's a huge project, and it's. I mean, I'm sitting all day long trying to connect the dots, and we would love to have grooming at one point, but right now it will be very difficult to buy everything, and so.
No judgment,
Yeah.
just only a question.
Okay. Are there any other questions from the board?
Seems very well thought out.
Yes. Is there anyone on Zoom?
No one on Zoom.
Okay. Well, thank you, and we'll close with a 30-day written comment period. It's a pre-submission
Motion.
conference. Motion by Dennis.
Second.
Second by Gloria, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, 7 in favor. Thanks.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Yep.
I expected a bunch of cats to show up and protest.
We were hoping you would bring some puppies with you.
We were
thinking about-
wondering, really.
That was at least my hope.
Okay. The Garrison Hamlet of East Quogue. We have sufficient notice, council?
Yes,
We do?
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you.
Please take notice that in accordance with local law number 14 of 2022, the public hearing will be held by the Southampton Town Planning Board on Thursday, November 9th, 2023, at 6 p.m., Town Hall 116, Hampton Road, Southampton, and via video conferencing, to consider the pre-application entitled The Garrison. The application proposes a reduced density 4-lot planned residential development cluster plan on 12.617 acre property situated in the CR 80 zoning district and the Aquifer Protection Overlay District, situated at 88 Lewis Road, Hamlet of East Quogue, Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-314-2-16.
Good evening, Lisa Poyer with Twin Forks Permits on behalf of the applicant. Also with me tonight is John Bennett with Bennett and Reed. The application before you has the property is located on Old Country Road corner and Lewis Road. It's in the northwest corner of the intersection. The property is currently under construction with a single-family residence, and the owner is looking to subdivide the property from a 6-lot yield down to a 4-lot cluster plan. The application includes preservation of 50% open space. It will be in 2 different areas of open space. You have one up in the northern section here, and then a larger tract right along Old Country Road and Lewis Road, which will leave the open vista views along that intersection there. The open space to the north is 1.926 acres. The open space along Old Country Road is 4.386 acres. The proposed primary lot, which has the existing residence on it, will be 3.214 acres and will be adhering to CR 80 zoning. And then the other 3 lots will be 1.165 acres, 0.936, 0.990, and those will adhere to CR 20 setbacks and zoning. This design was created based upon the current property development. In order to keep more open vistas along Lewis Road, the proposed additional lots were stacked with 2 flag lots. That would help reduce the density view along Lewis Road instead of trying to stack all the lots in that area. And we're just here to see if the public or the board has any questions about the subdivision.
So access would be from Lewis Road for all 4 lots.
Correct.
So it's not contiguous to any other open spaces?
No,
it's
it is
just-
not. It's standing on its own. You have residential lots immediately on the western side.
Is that open space and?
It's on the other side of Lewis Road, so the open space down here, Jackie, on the opposite side of the road, there is town, actually.
It's townland.
It is, so
Correct.
we create some connectivity.
Mhm.
And just by way of reference, the open space up here, we're currently reviewing a subdivision for this piece next door, in which we were establishing easements along here. So this open space here may, be
Link.
beneficial when linking up to what we're doing on the adjacent. But of course, we'll look at all this in a report.
Any questions? Any more questions? Is there someone on Zoom? Anyone on Zoom? No one on Zoom. No more questions? Okay. We'll close with a 10-day written comment period.
Great.
Motion?
Motion.
Dennis, second by Craig. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, 7 in favor.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by
Motion.
Dennis, second by Kate. All in favor? Opposed, abstention, 7 in favor. We are adjourned.